Welcome to FlyEaglesFly News, where Eagles fans get the latest, fastest, and hottest updates. Hit subscribe and fly high with us. They didn't see it coming. Nobody did. The Philadelphia Eagles, a team built around their superstar quarterback Jalen Hurts, have just dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves across the NFL world. Reports are flying everywhere, insiders whispering that something major went down behind the scenes. Jalen Hurts, the man who carried Philly to the Super Bowl and became the face of the franchise, has been cut. Yes, you heard that right, cut. The same Jalen Hurts who signed that record-breaking contract. The same guy who was supposed to be the Eagles' future for the next decade. Fans are stunned, players are speechless, and the league is in chaos. No one expected a move of this magnitude. What could possibly have happened in Philadelphia to trigger such a drastic decision? Was it locker room tension? A front office disagreement? Or maybe a shocking trade deal waiting to be unveiled? Whatever it is, this isn't just a roster change. It's a full-blown revolution in Philly. You can almost feel the tension from the city's streets to the locker room. Something big is brewing, and the Eagles' future just got a whole lot more unpredictable after this unbelievable turn of events that no analyst could have foreseen. Rumors are swirling faster than ever, with insiders claiming that tensions between Jalen Hurts and the coaching staff had been boiling for weeks. Some say it all started after that tough loss last Sunday, where Hurts reportedly had a heated exchange with offensive coordinator Brian Johnson. Others hint at disagreements over play calling, game plans, and leadership direction. The usually calm and composed Hurts was seen storming off the field, and whispers began spreading almost immediately. Could it really be that the relationship between the franchise quarterback and the Eagles' front office had fractured beyond repair? Fans on social media are losing their minds, half of them defending Hurts as a victim of mismanagement, the other half claiming it was time for a change. Meanwhile, NFL insiders are desperately trying to piece together what led to this shocking cut. Was there a power struggle between Hurts and the coaching staff? Did the locker room divide between those loyal to Hurts and those favoring a new direction? Whatever the cause, this is no ordinary personnel move. This feels like the end of an era in Philadelphia and the start of something no one can quite define yet. Philadelphia is a city that breathes football, and losing Jalen Hurts feels like ripping out its heartbeat. You can walk through South Philly right now and feel the disbelief in the air. Murals of Hurts on street corners suddenly look like relics of a past that ended overnight. This isn't just about a player being released. It's about identity, pride, and hope. Fans had built their dreams around this man, the leader who symbolized grit, resilience, and redemption. Remember the Super Bowl run? The MVP-caliber season? The way Hurts would lower his shoulder and fight for every inch? That's the kind of energy that defined this city. And now, with his departure, the Eagles seem like a team searching for its soul. The front office has stayed silent so far, releasing only a vague statement about strategic transitions and long-term planning. Strategic or not, this decision has left the fan base reeling. Jerseys are being burned, podcasts are exploding with theories, and analysts are struggling to make sense of it all. One thing's for sure, whatever happens next in Philadelphia, the shockwaves will echo through the entire NFL season. Behind the scenes, things may have been falling apart for longer than anyone realized. Sources close to the team suggest that Jalen Hurts wasn't exactly thrilled with how the offense evolved this year. There were concerns about the playbook, the lack of adjustments, and the heavy pressure placed solely on his shoulders. He wanted more say in the game plan, more flexibility to read the defense and make calls at the line, something the coaching staff reportedly pushed back on. That creative friction might have turned into something much deeper. Teammates allegedly noticed tension growing between Hurts and some assistant coaches. One anonymous player even mentioned that practices felt different lately, with Hurts appearing distant and frustrated. Could it be that this release was less about performance and more about control? The Eagles' leadership might have decided that the locker room was at risk, that change was necessary before things spiraled further. But cutting your franchise quarterback? That's not just a change, that's a seismic event. The kind that changes not only the team's structure, but its entire identity going forward. And now the big question everyone's asking: where does Jalen Hurts go from here? Within hours of the announcement, rumors of potential landing spots have already begun flooding social media. Some insiders believe the Atlanta Falcons could make a move, eager to inject leadership and firepower into their offense. Others are pointing toward the Raiders, who've been quietly scouting quarterbacks since the offseason. A few even whisper about the Patriots making a bold push, looking for a true leader to rebuild their dynasty. No matter where he ends up, Hurts won't stay unsigned for long. The man is too talented, too driven, too respected across the league. Still, the emotional toll is undeniable. After everything he gave to Philadelphia, to be released like this must sting in ways only true competitors understand. Yet, as Hurts has proven time and time again, he thrives in adversity. Maybe this isn't the end. Maybe it's just the start of his next chapter, one that could shock the NFL all over again. The story of Jalen Hurts is far from finished. Meanwhile, the Eagles front office is facing the storm of a lifetime. The media frenzy is relentless. Reporters camping outside the facility, fans demanding answers, and sports talk shows devoting entire segments to dissecting every detail. General Manager Howie Roseman is under fire, accused by some of making an impulsive, career-defining mistake. Others, however, see this as a bold move to reset the team's future. Could the Eagles already have their eyes on a new quarterback? Maybe a blockbuster trade, or a surprise draft pick. Whatever the case, the organization has to deal with the backlash. Players are trying to stay focused, but morale has clearly taken a hit. You can't just lose a leader like Hurts and expect things to feel normal the next day. Philadelphia has been here before, rebuilding, reimagining, reinventing, but never like this. This is uncharted territory, a turning point that could either launch them into a new era or haunt them for years to come. One thing's certain, the Eagles' decision to cut Jalen Hurts will go down as one of the most shocking moves in recent NFL history. Now the narrative takes an even wilder twist, because sources close to the organization claim this wasn't just a football decision. It was political. Some inside the front office allegedly wanted to shift the team's identity toward a more traditional pocket-passing offense, while others believed Hurts' dual-threat style defined modern football. This internal conflict may have split the leadership down the middle. Hurts, always known for his professionalism, reportedly tried to navigate the tension, but when philosophical clashes reach the top, no player is safe. Some insiders even suggest that Hurts' popularity among fans made the situation even more complex. His influence stretched beyond the field, and that might have scared certain decision-makers who preferred a quieter locker room dynamic. It's not uncommon in the NFL for ego and politics to collide with performance, and when that happens, the results can be explosive. The Eagles, once hailed as one of the league's most stable franchises, suddenly look like a team struggling to manage its own identity. And in the middle of it all, Hurts becomes the symbol of what happens when greatness meets organizational dysfunction in its rawest form. As the dust begins to settle, one can't help but wonder how this will affect the locker room chemistry moving forward. Players like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, who had strong personal and professional ties with Hurts, are reportedly devastated by the move. Their social media posts have been cryptic but emotional, hinting at frustration and disbelief. Without their leader, the team dynamic could shift dramatically, potentially fracturing the unity that once defined this Eagles roster. Coaches will have to step up, but leadership like Hurts can't be replaced overnight. His quiet strength, his calm under pressure, those qualities don't show up on a stat sheet, but they win games and shape culture. Fans feel it too. Philly supporters are famously passionate, and when they lose someone they love, they don't forget. The chants, the heartbreak, the debates, it's all just beginning. The question now isn't only about who replaces Hurts on the field, but who fills the void in the hearts of the players and fans alike. This isn't just a team transition, it's an emotional reckoning for an entire city. Even outside Philadelphia, the ripple effects are massive. Rival teams are watching closely, analysts are dissecting every angle, and agents across the league are recalculating market values. Jalen Hurts' release could reshape how teams handle franchise quarterbacks moving forward. It challenges the very idea of loyalty in modern football. If someone like Hurts, a proven leader, a model athlete, and a near MVP, can be cut, then truly, no one is safe. This move might trigger a domino effect, with other star players reevaluating their own stability within their franchises. Meanwhile, the Eagles must live with the narrative they've created, a franchise willing to make the coldest of business decisions. It's a bold stance, but also a dangerous one. Because if the replacement doesn't deliver, if the Eagles falter after this, the blame will land squarely on management. The stakes have never been higher, and the eyes of the football world are now locked on Philadelphia, waiting to see what comes next in this unfolding drama. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments, and let's talk birds. But maybe, just maybe, this story isn't over for Philly and Hurts. There are whispers, faint but persistent, that this could all be part of a larger plan. Some speculate that this cut might be a strategic maneuver, possibly tied to contract restructuring or even an elaborate trade in the works. Could the Eagles be pulling off one of the boldest smokescreens in NFL history? It wouldn't be the first time a front office used shock tactics to shift leverage or distract from internal negotiations. Hurts himself has remained silent, his camp refusing to comment, which only fuels more speculation. If this is all part of a grand strategy, it's working. The football world is obsessed, fans are glued to every update, and Philly remains the center of attention. But if it's real, if Hurts is truly gone, then we're witnessing the end of one of the most electrifying eras in recent memory. Either way, the city of brotherly love will never forget this week. The moment everything changed, the day the Eagles cut their king and the NFL stood still in disbelief. And as the sun sets over Lincoln Financial Field, the echoes of this decision linger like a haunting melody. The empty locker, the silent practice field, the missing energy that Hurts once brought. All of it paints a picture of a team at a crossroads. Some fans will move on, convincing themselves it's for the greater good. Others will never forgive the organization for letting go of their leader. Time will tell whether this was a genius move ahead of its time or a catastrophic blunder that derailed a potential dynasty. But no matter how this story ends, one truth remains unshakable. Jalen Hurts' impact on Philadelphia goes far beyond football. He represented resilience, leadership, and belief. His journey inspired a generation of fans who saw in him not just an athlete, but a symbol of hope. And even though the Eagles have moved on, the city won't forget. They'll remember the games, the grit, the glory, and the heartbreak of the day their hero was cut. This isn't just sports news. It's a modern epic, a tale of loyalty, power, and the unpredictable heart of the game itself. Industry insiders report that Barkley's public stance has sparked conversations among front office executives, strategists, and talent scouts about the long-term implications for team cohesion and player development. Sources claim that management is considering initiatives to institutionalize the values he vocalized, integrating leadership programs, accountability protocols, and mental performance strategies into standard operating procedures, ensuring that his influence extends beyond the immediate season. Analysts suggest that these measures reflect an understanding that Barkley's frustration is not just personal, but emblematic of a wider need for cultural recalibration, where every player's mindset, preparation, and ambition align with the team's championship goals. Meanwhile, teammates continue to navigate a complex emotional terrain, balancing respect for Barkley's talent and leadership with the pressure of meeting heightened expectations. Experts highlight that this dynamic, if managed skillfully, can create unparalleled unity and resilience, turning a previously comfortable locker room into a crucible for growth, where individuals are pushed to exceed limitations and collectively pursue victory with an intensity previously unseen. The buzz surrounding Barkley's influence paints a compelling narrative, a player transforming both the psychology and performance standards of a team, whose uncompromising drive and outspoken nature create a new template for leadership, culture, and obsession within one of the NFL's most scrutinized franchises. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.